Okay, are we getting this show on the road then, are we?
Go for it, buddy.
So welcome everyone and welcome to tonight's webinar. We are going to talk about the new Workdocs feature in Monday.com. Brand spanking new, right, Thomas?
Yeah, it's super nice. I mean, it opens up so many different possibilities. And we're going to look at it from a few different angles, right? First, we're going to give you sort of a walkthrough because everybody probably haven't seen it. And also, since we're recording it, it's really good to be able to have a video of a walkthrough of it. And then I guess we're going to be discussing a few different options of how it can be used.
Exactly. We're actually going to take a few looks at some of the templates that are already made for you, and then we basically kicked up something ourselves just to show you further use cases of it, which is actually a use case that has been very popular with a bunch of our clients. So with that said, I'm Frederick E. Castellbaum. I'm the CRO here at Omnitas, and with me today, as per usual, Thomas Carlson, our CEO and one of the partners of the firm.
I think that while you start sharing your screen, I think the good thing when we get an open feature like Workdocs is that nobody have actually seen how far we can take it yet. So if we revisit this webinar in a few months, we would be able to see and showcase so many cool and unique use cases that nobody present here could even imagine the Workdoc being used for.
Exactly, and that's just going to grow over time. This is really still a beta functionality, so who knows what Monday is planning to do with this. This is our Workdoc. This is actually one of the templates that you get that you can choose from to basically pre-install. To do that, you just go to add, and then you choose from templates, and it's actually let me show you, and you actually have a category for what you can choose from. Mm-hmm. So Monday has done it really nice for us. So you're just click and go, and you're ready to be on your way. So, but we pre-installed the Welcome to Monday Workdocs, which is basically our walkthrough of these new features. When we do it this way, we end up with the Workdoc here. It can also be directly added through your file column. And I just want to mention that so you can actually create one just by adding it through the file column.
Maybe we should mention that if you add it through the file column, currently in the beta version, you don't have options to select a template.
No, you don't. It starts from scratch. That goes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas, but it won't show up here in the left pane either.
No, it will be showing up like a file in the files view and in the file column, and you can interact with it in any way like you do a normal file, right? So when you click it, you'll actually get it as a pop-up, just like you do when you preview and open PDF.
So what we basically got here is our document, but we can do so much with it. It's easy enough, as we see here, to enter in video files, and we can just go normal text-based that we can use for anything. Reports, we can write our blog posts in here if we are like a marketing department or company or something. We can start typing already from in here. Mm-hmm. And we can add, like we see here, checklists, and it's easy enough to be using. And so
and these checkboxes are interactive, no?
Yes, they are. So we can go like that. So we can actually put task lists, and if we want to go even further, we can actually send these stuff and create items in a proper board if we want to as well. So to really have that follow-up feature, then we just go like, yeah, that one would be great, and we can create an item, and then we just choose what board we're going to do it on. Let's do it on Team Task Board, and it's for this week, for example. Yay, there now we have created that item. So it's really easy to work from, and in that way assign people and stuff like that. And we can put in dividers and all that jazz, and
obviously YouTube videos.
Can link it straight in. We can also go like add something below our divider, and here we have all our normal things. So we have our videos or our images or our quotas, bullet lists, checklists. There's the checklist, by the way. But we also have boards and widgets, and we're getting into them, right? And I think these are the love story of Thomas' lives right now, right?
Yeah, but this is where we're gonna see all the magic happening soon when people combine widgets and board views on top of these documents going forward. It's gonna be really amazing to see what kind of reports, what kind of support document, onboarding documents, or standard operating procedures people will be creating with Workdocs.
Our documents, they live during the permission settings that we have. So we see they can be public, private, or shared with guests outside our Monday account. So we can really use them for any kind of purpose we need in that sense. And of course, Workspaces also, at least if you're an enterprise user, you can use the permissions set in your Workspaces as well to regulate who gets access to a document or not. So you can actually have like a workspace that is basically a document folder or something like that as well. Here we can actually see our board view, and here's the item I actually just entered. So it's updating quickly, and from here we actually get our board, and we can do stuff like that. And let's add in Thomas. That's his. So I can operate my boards. Of course, I can in my settings, like I do in my dashboard. I can see what should I show, what do I need to do, and I can group stuff and do everything I can basically do from a dashboard I can do here. So this is like a dashboard plus kind of situation where we can also add in all our around information.
Yeah, and I really want to stress that these are actually widgets, same widgets that you have in the dashboard, and they behave exactly the same way. So we just had a question like, if you're viewing a document with an embedded board and you don't have permission to the underlying board, what happens? It's same thing. If you have a widget in a dashboard with restricted information that the user that's viewing the dashboard does not have access to, they get the little private board icon where they can request access to that board.
Basically, what Monday have done here, they have reutilized their widget system and put it in here. So it's, you know how it works basically from the start, because it's all the same things that you are used to already. So when starting with Workdocs, we can actually recommend you to go through this, to just install this template the first thing you do, because it really gives you a good scope of what can you do and actually how to do it. So with nice pictures and everything. So here, you can turn your words into actions. Yeah, that's basically what we did, right? So we did create our item, and we could easily choose what board and what group to place it as well. We could really urge you to go through, if nothing else, this one, Welcome to Monday Workdocs, and you will get a flying start into the Workdocs and how to use it. And then it's your creativity, basically, that will set the boundaries of what you will be able to do. Should we jump into the next one?
Yeah, why not? I mean, this is, if we break it down before we jump over, we have titles, we have subtitles, we have the ability to insert text paragraphs, bullet list, checklist, dividers, images, videos, boards, and dashboards, or widgets, sorry. And after that, it really comes down to you guys on what your creativity is. And if you want some inspiration, I suggest installing all the Monday templates that are in there, because they actually gave us a lot of inspiration as well of how we can use it. And we actually have one in the end, which we have built from scratch for a special use case.
And then, of course, you have your updates already in here. So it's just on the speech bubble as per normal, and you can go typey and actually have a chat about all the different stuff that you are creating in here as well. And with all the normal functionality, brainstorming.
Yes.
So this is yet again another of the ready-made templates from Monday.com. So Thomas, do you want to take us through this one?
Yeah, so this would obviously be a one-off. So we have a way of structuring our brainstorming sessions. So every time you install this template, it creates one Word document and one board supporting it for all the items. It's quite visual, like what's the date, and you insert the date here quite easily. And then basically you add all the information you need, and then basically what you get in a brainstorming session, if you go to the end, Frederick, you have the connection to the board where we can also upvote. So this is built from so there's different kind of brainstorming sessions. This is the brainstorming session where first you put all the items on the agenda or all the suggestions, and without evaluating them, right? Are they plausible? Are they good? Are they bad? And then they have put a voting process on top of that. And then you finish off by saying what action items have we concocted from this. And if we can't check them off, we can always mark them and create them into tasks in another board or wherever we need a task to be. So it's a rather straightforward but a good example of how we can create a template with a relationship to the different boards sitting inside the work document.
Then we also thought the product launch plan was actually rather good, and it also comes with its own board when you install it. Here you actually get a Gantt chart of what's going on. So, and that is information fetched from that particular board that you've got installed as well. And it's pretty much straightforward. And of course, the Gantt chart is up on top because that's so you don't have to scroll later on as you fill it out. So basically, here you go. You get to state your goals and your success matrix, who's doing what and when. So here you have your tasks, really. So this is the product plan, and we can use it. So Monday actually set up a nice little board here, so we can have a go at that one already from the start. And that will generate your Gantt chart later on.
Exactly. And the cool thing is that the templates that Monday has set up, that's stuff that you can set up as well, because now it's possible to deploy templates with relationships within the template. So the template is more than one board. If you take our time reporting app, for example, I think we have 12 boards and one dashboard that gets installed every time you use that template.
Yeah.
So it's quite an easy one. It's called Solutions. So if you want to know how you can build a template that way, it's actually, you should search in the knowledge database for Solutions.
And it's actually a really good tip for something you do, especially when you reuse certain stuff.
And we might do a webinar in the future about how you actually build your own solutions.
Yeah, I think actually that has been requested before. So yeah, it's on our to-do list. Then we actually come to the report, which actually several of our clients have been really, really happy with. It's not exactly like this one, but it's touching on those. And then, of course, the data is dummy data, which we created rather hastily. So basically what we do here is that we can get a financial report, which is always, it's always live. It's year to date. It's now. And we can fetch the information that we need. So this is a really good use case. For example, if you're that CEO or CFO or whatever you are, and you every month have to spend a couple of hours of making a report for the board, for example. This might save you some time.
But we can be honest and say there's actually a lot of enterprise level companies where department heads and even team leaders sometimes do this kind of financial reporting, because the company being that big, the mandates are pushed further, quite far down into the organization.
Exactly. This might be a really good time save, and that's the feedback we're getting. We're saving so much time just by doing this. So then we can add in. So basically what they need to do is go in, update some of their text segments if needs be, add all, and then the data gets fetched all over. So then if I can spell, it's much better. And we get the all the data that we want. Of course, it's like we said before, it's the same type of widgets that we use for our dashboard. So they are set up exactly the same. Should we maybe try to add a widget to this one just to see what we can do?
Yeah, that would be cool. But well, let's do it in the end, and let's not rush it too much. Let's actually show all the different widgets, because I think this is some good inspiration as well.
Yeah.
Because this is all different chart.
These are all different chart graphs. So that's what these are. So we have the donut, we had up on top, we have the circle, of course. We have the stacked line graph.
And then we have this is actually the big stacked one. Yeah. So either you can sort the X on person. When you do, you get the nice little portrait of the person. If you have some kind of unison way of having your portrait like we have at Omnitas, it actually goes quite a lot. So we've actually seen that companies with graphic departments, they actually have an order form in Monday to order their like monday.com avatar, so it fits into the same graphical profile as everyone else's. That's actually quite cool.
It is quite cool, and it's also actually quite beneficial because it's easier to actually see who's who.
Instead of the image of a dog or a dog or something like that.
Or a very obscure picture with someone sitting really far down with like a sombrero on or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
We've seen most of the pictures, I can tell you. Of course, even here we've linked in like our upcoming ideas board. So how will we affect change and stuff like that? So do that. So we have our boards, and just to show you, so we can do a multitude of things and really save time. So if I were a board member, I were kind of vetting this, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can see where we're going. Okay, fair enough. We're growing. That's fine. What's our ideas to keep on growing? Okay, so, okay, this is what we're going to do. Nice. Now I know. Now I can post relevant questions to the management and so on and so forth.
And full interactiveness on these items, changing statuses, dates, commenting on that item as well.
Yeah, and actually what we can see here is that Monday have been nice enough to add in this new feature, which actually comes from my work as well, where you actually have the updates and the columns or the items here. Mm-hmm. So you actually get the best of both worlds. So it's really easy to interact with as well. Mm-hmm. So you need to be popping between boards and also to leave a comment.
Yeah, and you still can add more views to the right part of this communication.
Oh, yeah.
So you have the conversations and all the important stuff.
How timely it popped up.
Definitely. Let's insert a live chart view, if I may drive you.
Yeah.
So let's make we need a, there we go, a widget. Let's do a chart. And we want intäkt 2020. And we want kostnader 2020.
Oh, you want both?
We need to. Let's do a cool dashboard, right?
Okay. So
settings. I think we can add it in the bottom right.
Yes, I think so. Oopsie. Choose boards.
Yeah, 2020.
There we go.
Cool. So I just need to remove two groups. If you go to the group section, otherwise we'll be you should uncheck the two bottom ones on that board. And on the other one, you should uncheck, I think the last one.
Oh.
There we go. And then let's go up and let's do an X. We want yes, perfect, like that.
You want this graph chart type?
A standard chart, not stacked, so that's perfect. The X-axis, we set it to date.
Excuse me?
Perfect.
Sorry, everyone, that's our COO.
He has to wait. We're in a webinar. Cool. This is correct. So let's go straight to the Y-axis. and we want a
formula, maybe?
I think a formula, yeah. So we want price total and cost. Yes, that's it. So what we're doing now, this is actually a result view of having all the costs and all the income month by month to see how we did, right? If you go to more settings, further down, there we go. You can. I just want to show what happens if you do show cumulative data. Now you're actually showing how the financial has grown over time, but we want to really track it month by month. So let's uncheck that, and let's be done with it. This is actually the balance date, and we do have one entry that's off year. So let's go into the filter and get rid of February 2021.
Here.
There we go. Save filter. Don't forget, guys.
Yeah. Don't do what I just did. Save your filter.
Perfect. And now we have basically a results graph of the year, and we can set that up in advance, and it will just populate the more we sell and the more costs we have. Obviously, we'll know the costs in advance, but we can always keep them in another board so we don't move them until like a month in advance or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it looks, we used to do like we put in all our costs for the whole year, but it looks so negative because all the future month was like super negative results, obviously because we hadn't generated the income for them yet.
Yeah, it was like, okay, guys, the chase is on.
Yeah, exactly. I think we actually have shown most of the things that we wanted to show. So please ask your questions. So board views, can you put them in the docs? No, you cannot put board views in the docs, but all board views have correlating widgets already. So it's still dashboard widgets that you put in the docs. Cards and those will have widgets. I don't know when, but all board views features will have a widget correlation, but I can't say when because I don't know when.
And be sure also to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post all our webinars. So even if you would miss something, you can always watch it without me stumbling over my words, because I will edit that one out as well for you. So it's nice and neat and short. With that said, guys,
we actually do have one question in the chat now as well. So sorry I just want to make sure that you don't finish the call. What do you think is the main apps for docs? And I want to say that already in this first iteration, Monday's own native apps actually work in docs. One of my favorite one is the pivot table app, but you have you have an org chart app that works in Monday. Imagine doing Workdocs as a personnel instruction, and you can actually do an org chart inside of your document about how the personnel admin is working, right? And you can show all the different department heads.
Yeah, what's reporting like in that company?
I assume that they will, since they are using the same framework as dashboard widgets, I assume going forward, third-party widgets that work in dashboards will eventually work in Workdocs, meaning that, wow, we have a sales funnels app, right? Imagine being able to put your sales funnel straight into a sales report.
That would be great. To all of you working at the Monday tech departments, you now hear our outcry. But with that said, if we don't have any further questions, we'll let you go early today, and have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thanks for watching. If you like our content, remember to subscribe.